remote care in COVID will become extremely relevant. So the question is that in these unprecedented times, can all of us become COVID doctors at least, if not surgeons or doctors? So I think that is extremely important. It's a very simple sort of a strategy, and that strategy actually boils down to 3-4 very interesting levers. The first one is vaccination. I cannot emphasize, though we don't have a lot of people who are under the age of 45, but the moment this opens up, my request is vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate. A lot of people are having this useless conversation whether Covishield is better, whether Covaxin is better. Will we have plots after Covishield? And we also should realize that the world is full of fake/vague newses. And until and unless a news is specifically verified by platforms like WHO, I would request to refrain from those. And also using common sense is extremely important. What I can vouch today is as follows: 10,000 people who got Covishield, only 2 people got coronavirus. Getting a vaccine does not mean that you will not get the virus, but it will be super attenuated. You will not, I can guarantee, on all the deaths that we are seeing, our majority of the ones are the ones who did not get vaccinated even a single time. So my only submission to all of you is that don't even, and even in your families, get vaccinated. Do not meet anyone. And this is because this virus, so scientifically speaking, this virus has mutated so much that we are seeing such a massive COVID-19 and COVID-21 are completely different viruses. We are seeing mutations which are so diverse, which are so bizarre that I could have, and honestly, I could have never imagined that we as a country would be in COVID, the second wave of COVID. So please ensure that you get vaccinated. Only and only do SOS. SOS stands for sign of stress. Works and ensure that and the whole idea is break the chain. Just break the chain. Stop interacting. And if you have a maid, please request her to not go outside. If you want to get food, the best way would be to actually spend some more money and have it delivered. If that is not happening, wear a mask, wear double mask, wear a shield, and use sanitizer like a paranoid. So I think early action is everything. I can guarantee if you continuously take early action in COVID, there will be no loss of life. I can guarantee that. Continuous early action. The COVID is a 14-day disease. The day you get fever, from that point in time, checking SpO2, the technique of checking SpO2, it's very simple. लोग क्या करते हैं, लेटे हुए SpO2 check करते हैं, वो गलत है. SpO2 check करने का एक तरीका है, upright position, left index finger, place the oximeter on your left index finger and wait for 45-second reading. That is your SpO2. Things like these. People are relying on digital thermometers. Mercury thermometer is the gold standard for fever measurement. फीवर मेजरमेंट कितनी चाहिए होती है, विटामिन सी आंवला से आती है. So I think knowledge, consistently giving knowledge. And because we have a paucity of doctors today, what we need to do is all of us become doctors. All of us ensure that we can help someone in early action. And I think I think that is extremely important. And home care is very underrated in COVID. If done correctly, home care is bliss. First of all, you should know what are the symptoms. There are 3 common symptoms and 3 newer symptoms that the new strain is coming out with. The common ones are fever, dry cough, and tiredness. The vague ones, which are less common, are diarrhea. They're coming with more of extreme headache. They are coming with conjunctivitis. They are coming with a lot of newer symptoms. But in today's day and age, in April/May of 2021, any fever until and unless proved otherwise is COVID. So my only submission is that do not the day you get a fever, you need to get yourself tested. Now the next question is, how do we get us? So the day you get fever or you start feeling malaise, first of all, you don't get tested, you get isolated, because this virus is so virulent that what will happen is you will immediately give it to your family members, elders, or younger ones in your family. So immediately isolate. The moment you get isolated, try to get an RT-PCR done. If two people have come positive, they can stay in the same room. If the whoever is positive can together stay in the same house. And if RT-PCR is not working, get a RAT done. RAT is a rapid antigen test. The results for that come in 20 minutes. If that is not available, the gold standard is a CT scan. A CT scan will tell you within 2 hours whether you have COVID or not. A, obviously get isolated. B, you should always have an SpO2 monitor with you. C, get get your immunity hyped up. And I'm an allopathic doctor, but I believe in a lot of Ayurvedic things as well, like haldi ka doodh. And I know this sounds very crazy, but and I never used to respect Ayurveda, but for the first time I've seen things like methi ka pani, haldi ka doodh, things like lemon water, mosami ka juice, anar ka juice. All these things add to a lot of your immunity. For the first 5 days, you should only do symptomatic treatment. You should take care of your fever. If you have fever, if you're talking about sensitive, the answer is no. If you're talking about protective, the answer is yes. People who have got a vaccine and have been exposed to the triple mutant strain, which is the most lethal one, the vaccine has entered into a moderate sort of a disease, but that disease would have been technically fatal without a vaccine. So vaccine is extremely relevant. This is the only way. Treatment for COVID is, one is antipyretic, which is your paracetamol, but that should never be. So a lot of doctors are recommending to take paracetamol every 4 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours. You should never do that. Always, the idea is to have minimum exposure of medicines for your body. So the whole idea is that only take medicines when they are required. So that is for paracetamol. The second one you should have, and then we have a lot of immunity boosters like Zincovit and Limcy. Zincovit is zinc plus vitamin A, Limcy is vitamin C. These two have shown protective, creation of a protective environment for our body against the virus. If you have cough, then we give Monter LC. If you have a lot of cough and it is still not being controlled, we give cough syrups like Asthakyne. So in that chart you have all the drugs, when they should be taken, when they should not be taken, what is the modality of treatment of low SpO2, when do we start oxygenation, when do we think of discharge, when do we think of admission, when do we think of a lung transplant. So we've actually created an entire modality for COVID. Yes, it's only and only in two conditions vaccines are not advisable. The first one is lactation. The second one is pregnancy. Typically, there has been no study actually. The disease, the virus is so new that there is actually no study regarding in the side effects in pregnant/lactating mothers. Consult your doctor, talk to them, and if they give a go ahead, आंख बंद करके आप लगा लीजिए. Now, when I got COVID, the first thought in my mind was that I'm going to die. So mental health becomes a very important healing aspect of COVID. So what I used to do was I used to take melatonin at night to ensure that I sleep well, because raat mein I used to get very negative thoughts between the time of 10 and 2. And I'm a late sleeper. So things like these, very basic things, but continuously you should actually rise up with the sun. The more you'll be in the sun, the more you will be positive. At the same time, talk to your friends, continuously use Zoom, Facebook Live, talk to your friends, write down your thoughts. This is a very, and also during COVID, I had some of the most interesting, introspective days, because I was alone. I used to write a lot. I used to read a lot. I used to do a lot of classes on Skillshare. I learned the entire stock market during COVID. So this is also an opportunity. So it's all about your mind. The question is whether you take this as an opportunity or a liability. So I think consistently talk to people. Consistently talk to people, and what COVID has definitely taught us is one thing, that human longing is the most important emotion in this world. So can you buy a N95 masks for them? More than capital right now, I think knowledge is very scarce. People don't know what to do, what not to do. Whoever is a COVID patient, and now that it is so pertinent in the society and in the environment, talk to them. Ensure that you give them a call once every day. Talk to them what's happening. Tell them not to see media. Tell them not to see media. Media is the worst, especially in India. It will be so negative the moment. So the first thing that I prescribe on the top of my prescription before Fabiflu or any antibiotic or any antipyretic or any antitussive is, please do not see media, especially channels like you know who all. Stay at home to support people financially. Help your maids if they cannot or sustain themselves. Don't cut their salaries. For us it won't matter, but for them it will be everything. So I think this is our time to be human than to be founders and businessmen. And पैसा तो कमा ही लेंगे, but अगर किसी की एक आदमी की भी जान बच जाए, पता नहीं किसके फादर, किसी की मदर, किसी की बेटी कहाँ पे कैसे मर रही है. So my only request is that uh, let us be skilled and let us be safe. If we are safe, we can actually support the entire ecosystem.